Hello and welcome back to Killing My Friends 2024 edition. Yes, though I'm pretty sure this video is going to drop somewhere in the middle of January. For me, this is the first recording session of 2024. It's also the first time I've recorded in like a week and a half, so I hope you'll bear with me as we go through this strategic layer video. We're not doing any missions today. We are going to distribute the loot from our recent liberation of New Australia, and then we are going to make plans as to what we are researching, building, and doing going forward for the rest of the game. Liberating New Australia was only the first step. We still have a long way to go in this long war. So, to start with, I've already made a trip to the black market, and I've already stripped all of the weapon upgrades off of all of my soldiers. I am currently sitting at 476 supplies, 45 Illyrium crystals, 73 alloys. So I think the first thing we're going to do is, well, we don't need to be working on laser weapons, so let's start there. We're going to change our research to, I think, battle armor, and then muton autopsy. Battle armor gets us the EXO suit, which is super useful, and then muton autopsy gets us access to plasma grenades, which is also extremely useful. So we'll start there.
Commander, we've already dedicated considerable resources toward the current research project. However, we can move on to something else if you'd prefer. I'll direct our efforts towards the new research project immediately, Commander. Once we've made progress, I'll send word.
Next, we're going to head over to the commander's quarters. We're going to take a look at our havens. We only have 3, so one of our big missions going forward is going to be to get more regions, to expand into more places. Here's our liberated spot. We currently only have 7 people in it out of a total of 13 possible slots. So the first thing we want to do is we want to remove the scientist. We're going to switch everybody to recruit. And then we're going to put one of our very top soldiers in there to help with the recruitment process. So Silver Key, you're going to be off missions for a little while you help recruit in New Australia. We've done 1 point of liberation on New Chile. And actually, while we're here, let's talk a little bit about Advent global strength and such. So when it says there are 51 legions, that means that if you take all of the regions in the entire planet and add up all of their strength, you would get 51. The reason it says global resistance threat low is because it compares that 51 legions to the total amount of vigilance that we are generating. So you'll see that in New Chile we have 4 vigilance, in New Indonesia we have 8, for a total of 12 vigilance, which is very small compared to the 51 legions, which is why Advent currently perceives us to be a low threat despite the fact that we did just liberate an area. So that's kind of how this goes. And then you all are working on intel and hiding. Go ahead and pull Chicken Boo out of there. Switch everyone to intel, because that one is strength 3. New Chile, everyone's currently hiding. Which is actually kind of okay with me for the moment. So we definitely need a new space so that we can start running some more missions. We'll get to that in a little bit. For right now, let's take a look. We've got Jeff in here in the Psi Lab, training his fuse doing his fuse training. We've got a couple of folks in here training for their very first squatty position, and of course Nick is still in here training as an officer. What we're going to do now is we're going to distribute PCSs and weapons. So for example, we'll go with Tammy here. I think we're going to give you this depth perception PCS, because you're always on the high ground anyway. And then as weapon upgrades, we're going to give you the advanced stock, the advanced auto loader, and the advanced scope. Silver Key. Expanded magazine, scope, stock. And then I believe for one of the things that I want to make sure I buy is going to be for Helena, my skirmisher. She's currently still sitting on the basic ballistic weapon, so I think what we're going to do first, or next I should say,
Hello, Commander.
is we're going to go ahead and build the mag bullpup. And we're going to give that to Helena. Where is she? There she is. We'll also go ahead and give her the depth perception because we're often shooting from up above. We're going to give you the elite scope. Although the laser sight would have been good for crit chance, but I think the extra aim is going to be necessary. We'll go with the advanced auto loader and this hair trigger. Speaking of hair triggers, the other person that uses a lot of Overwatch fire is Winter. So we'll go with that grouping there. Who else? Our other sharpshooter. Get you a stock. Expanded magazine, laser sight. All right, who else really needs... Let's see. Hack guy, we're going to give you the superior defense since you keep getting targeted. And we're not going to upgrade your weapon yet. In fact, we're going to go ahead and give you an ordinary shotgun for now because you are going to be out for a while. So we're going to go ahead and give Whizzical the shard gun. And for now, it's just going to be the basic auto loader. Wrecking Ball, you've got the advanced grenade launcher. I kind of want to give one of those to Grant as well, but I don't want to spend all my money just yet. Marty. We'll give you some bonus defense. And we're going to give you the expanded magazine. I don't really need a stock for you, so I think that's fine for now. Speaking of Rangers, how about Chrissy? We do have the bolt caster available. And in fact, let's go ahead, before we give it to anybody, we're going to go ahead and go down to Shen.
Commander?
And we're going to upgrade that bolt caster to the magnetic bolt caster. And I don't know who it's going to end up on permanently, but for now, let's go ahead and give it to Daniel.
It may only provide a single-shot action, but this thing hits hard.
Oh, yeah.
Even an edge hit could
Look at that
potentially
pose.
stun the target.
That's a thumbnail right there. Perfect. I am eventually going to give you a hacking sim, so I don't need to give you one right now. And then for our Shinobi,
Commander?
I have access to a couple of arc blades. So we're going to build those. And we're going to give them to our Shinobi. So not only does the arc blade do more damage, it has a chance to stun the target. Who do we give our second one to? I think we're going to give the second one to Jessica. I've got something else in mind for Robin. There we go. I'm also going to give you this dodge PCS. I do have one more PCS for health. So I think I'm going to give that one to Grant, because he has been taking a lot of damage lately. So we're going to give him that one. Okay, so what else are we going to do? We've gotten all of our PCSs out there. We've distributed most of the new weapons. I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make some armor.
Just give the word and I'll get started, Commander.
This Predator armor is very useful. I want to make a bunch of those. I also want to make the plated armor for my Reaper and Skirmisher. So let's do that right now. So that is armor that only the Reaper and the Skirmisher can wear. Protect them a little bit more. But we got to do some long-term stuff too. We're beginning to run thin on supplies. I think we're going to start by going in and grabbing wet work. We are kind of behind on XP, so getting the bonus experience from kills, I probably should have bought this a while ago, but we will take it. Integrated warfare is extremely tempting, but we don't have a whole lot left in the way of supplies. So how do I want to handle this? I know that I want to get my training center going as fast as possible. And I also need to pick up some stuff in the proving ground. Talon rounds are really nice. And then the Hunter's Axe is what I think I'm going to give to Robin. So let's go with Talon rounds.
I'll send word as soon as we're finished, Commander.
And we are going to pick up the Hunter's Axe pretty soon. But before we do that, we're going to build our training center. The training center will allow me to finally begin to take advantage of the fact that some of my troops are beginning to form closer bonds with each other. And I'm also going to be able to make use of the XCOM row of talents. So for example, this bottom row here, I've got 35 AP to work with. As soon as I have the training center, I'll be able to start filling in some of these for some of my guys. We need to select a covert operation. I think it is definitely time and past time to get the Templars going. So we're going to send... who? It's either Tammy or Grant. Who am I going to be missing more? Well, Grant is one of my big damage dealers with his grenades, so I think we're going to send Tammy out. And then the second soldier can be basically anybody. So we'll go ahead and start finding them. And in fact, building the ring facility is also going to be something we're going to need to do pretty soon. And I believe with that, we are out of supplies. So what are we up to? Now, I totally forget what we've got here. We do have intel here, so let's start with that, I think.
Avenger plotting new course.
We immediately get a supply raid in New Indonesia, which sucks because it's only 2 days, which means that New Indonesia is about to gain another point of strength, which will bring it up to 4, which kind of sucks for me. We got a rookie in New Australia, which is not what I'm looking for.
Strategic resource located.
96 intel, pretty good. And in fact, I'm going to call that good enough for us to expand to a new location. eventually heading up here. Oh, I see. Okay. So I thought that if I got into New India here, I'd be able to go straight to East Africa, but I won't. I would have to go up, over, and down. That would be 4. Yikes. Okay, so we're going to make contact with South Africa for 80 intel.
Setting course for South Africa.
I got to start finding some missions to run, so I'm going to start looking at intel on both of my remaining havens.
Attempting to establish local regional contact.
5 days for 32 intel. Something in the air.
Setting course for the Indonesian zone.
Let's take a look. Now, hold on. Is it going to be 10 to 12? No, it's going to be more than 10 to 12 because this is about to go up to strength 4. So if I'm going to do this, I have to make sure that I'm ready for a 13 to 15 rather than 10 to 12 mission. In 5 days. So if I'm going to do this, I think I'm going to need to put Grant in there for the extra damage. Jessica makes for an excellent scout. And this is recovering an item from a vehicle, so we're going to go ahead and put Daniel in there. I think that's about right. You still have the marksman rifle. That's a bit of a problem. I'm going to give you a mag long rifle instead. And then, yeah, because I'm assuming 13 to 15 enemies. So I think this should be a pretty good group for that. Make sure we've got a couple of med kits available. And yeah, overall, I think this is a pretty good group. We've got some long range, we've got some AoE, we've got some pretty powerful single target damage, we've got the ability to take on robots. Let's go ahead and get started.
Sky Ranger deployed.
Menace, ready to deploy.
Okay, continuing to make contact.
Setting course for the South African sector.
Improving mobility of robotic combat units. Great. Okay, so now Nick has gotten trial by fire, which is going to put him in a very specific place for our purposes. Trial by fire means that any soldiers below the rank of sergeant will be automatically promoted after a successful mission. So he is going to end up taking all the newbies and bringing them on missions, and then helping them get up to the sergeant level at least. But first, we're going to go ahead and grab Collector. That's not what I meant to do.
Commander, I appreciate you recruiting new staff for the engineering team, but as it stands, we have people still waiting for an assignment.
I don't have anywhere that I can
we can
put
have them
someone,
working on
Shen,
construction,
yet.
excavation, or
Leave me
staffing
alone.
a facility.
Okay, so we're gonna put Captain Nick Valentine back in here, and we're gonna grab Collector. So as soon as he's done with this last training, his job is gonna be to get the newbies up to snuff, basically. Talon rounds is done. So we're immediately going to give that to one of our shotgun guys. I believe Whizzical is going to be the one. Yeah, it would normally be Hat Guy, but he's still out for a month. So let's go ahead and give Whizzical Talon rounds. We've got a new recruit. That brings us to 8. We're looking for 13.
New objective added.
Commander, we've established contact with the local resistance and we're ready to move on the alien black site on your order. Advent's been keeping this facility a closely guarded secret. We should make sure our troops are ready for a tough fight before we send them out there. I've updated our latest
Black site's still way up there, so it's going to be a little
while.
while before I can get that.
Commander, as of right now, we don't have enough intel to get a solid bearing on the local resistance forces in that area.
Seems to be what Chicken Boo does best. He's going to go ahead and chill in here, and we're just going to keep scanning here. We've got only strength 3, 4, and soon to be 5 regions. Great. Lovely. Wonderful. It'll be fine. Wow. 12 hours on a smash and grab, huh? Yeah, that's not happening. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Marty and Cheesy, do they want to be Bond level 1? Hold on, I'm going to check my spreadsheet really quick. No. I'm going to ignore that one. And in fact, are there any other bonds that I could make here? Dash. No, you and Marty also could be bonded, but I'm not going to do that. Robin and Jeff. I believe that is, once again, clicking over to my spreadsheet. Yes, that is a bond that I wanted to do, so we're going to go ahead and confirm that. That face. That is a great expression on Robin's face right there.
We can
Boom.
thank Advent for the inspiration.
No, we don't have to thank Advent for anything, Shen. Not ever. And then, anybody else, I believe we're going to have, hopefully when Cheesy Pizza gets back, he's going to be able to do it. But we're going to drop the scientists out of here for now to make our battle armor go a little bit faster. Training center's coming in 28 hours. We got a new recruit, that's 9. Two days to attack Advent counterinsurgency ops. Now I believe, and I'm again clicking over really fast, counterinsurgency means that there's a retaliation coming. Let's double check. Counterinsurgency ops. Let's see. Oh, I see. There are some dark events that it could end up being. There's a lot of possible dark events, and unfortunately this one's going to happen because 2 days is not enough time. And only 3 days for liberation. I gotta be better about this. I need bigger timelines. Now the training center is done, which is huge. And this is going to allow me to really improve my troops very quickly. So we're going to go back into the armory, and we're going to go down the list, and we're going to start giving people their new abilities. I could not access any of this stuff down here until the training center was built. So I like Zone of Control and Coup de Grace. I can't get both. I also like Tradecraft. Ready for Anything isn't bad either for him. We're going to go Zone of Control, and that's all for now. Pun Queen. We're going to give you Flashbanger, which gives you a free flashbang. Mal. None of these are really interesting for you. I feel like Aggression's probably the best one, but it'll be a while before we get there. Speaking of Aggression, I feel like combining Bring 'Em On with Aggression is probably going to be the way to go for him. So we'll start with Bring 'Em On, which will give him bonus damage on crits, and then eventually we're going to take Aggression, which gives him bonus crit chance. Dash. Definitely want Maim. Absolutely, no bones about it. I want Maim because I want to be able to immobilize a target, and that is incredible, especially against, like, melee enemies. Very good. Deadpool. I was thinking about making him kind of melee-ish, but now that I'm looking at it, I don't think that's really the way to go. Aggression's a possibility. Evasive is a possibility. I think we're going to go with Ever Vigilant for him, so that when he just moves, he'll end up going on Overwatch. So for Wrecking Ball here, Lightning Reflexes is a really good one, but I don't know that it's what I really want for him. More Shredder is more better. I think that's probably going to be the way to go. Vitriol. If you get at least one kill during your turn, you automatically hunker down, which is really good for her because she tends to get up close and personal and kill people with that flamethrower or with her rocket launcher. Hail of Bullets is also useful, but I think we're going to start with Trench Warfare. Chrissy. Low profile would be nice. Deep cover would be nice. Brutality is also really good. I think we're going to go with deep cover for you for now. Wiz, we are waiting on combat fitness and or coup de grace. And then we've got some new folks. We're waiting on either Ever Vigilant or Reposition for you. I think that is everyone. At least everyone who's not currently out on a mission. Yeah, for Robin, we're definitely going to go with Bring 'Em On and probably Implacable. But I think that's it for the training center for now. And we don't have anybody who can improve their bond. Okay, okay. And only one day again. Jeez. I have so many people on Intel here. I'm worried there might be a Faceless in there that's messing with me. So we're going to go ahead and put Chrissy in here. See if we can catch a faceless. Again, only 3 days. Okay, okay. We're gonna get an advisor in here as well, because it feels like we are not getting good mission times despite the fact that we have lots of people going on intel.
I have made a number of interesting discoveries, Commander.
Battle armor. So this gives us the ability to do the reinforced frame for the sparks. Inspired on Advent Robotics. And we have an EXO suit.
I'll see that work begins
We'll do
immediately,
the Advent Robotics.
Commander. I'll contact you when I have a full report available.
It literally says 0 hours. Like, is that literally just instant?
When inspired,
It was
our team
instant.
is actually
Perfect.
quite efficient.
So this gives us the ability to make our Mark II Gremlin. And then what else do we want? I said Muton Autopsy was the next big thing.
Central Officer Bradford has personally substantiated claims that the massive frontline unit they call the Muton was actually at one time even larger than the specimen I have before me today. As it is, the creature is abnormally warm to the touch for a corpse, and I must say, it is quite disconcerting.
I bet. I bet it is. So that'll be 4 days.
With the Elder's blessing, I have cursed your flying sanctuary. And now you will suffer the consequences.
Thankfully, I'd already used pretty much all of my weapon mods, so I'm not too worried about this
The
sabotage.
Chosen are doing whatever it takes to slow us down. We need to watch out for their sabotage attempts.
Okay, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and boost this infiltration. That gets us down to 10 to 12. I was expecting 13 to 15, not bad. So we're gonna have our very first mission of 2024, but we're gonna do that in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this somewhat different and kind of meandering Killing My Friends video, and we'll get back to the action next time. Thank you for watching. I'll see you then.